Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Prepper Talk Radio. 'Tis the season. This is our Christmas episode. So before we dive in headlong into unwrapping those gifts, wanted to remind you guys to stay warm. You might get a little cold this time of year, but always, even if you're cold, stay frosty. Want to make sure you guys keep that head on a swivel. Everything that's going on around the world, you never know when things are going to shift, change, or cause a problem in your daily life. That's why we push living the ready-minded way. Without further ado, I want to introduce my co-host, Shane, Mr. Prepared Guy, Paris, Mr. I will fix all your money problems, and of course, yours truly, Jack of all trades, master of a few. Guys, welcome to the show.
Yo, what's up?
Happy to be here.
Speechless for a change.
It's Wednesday.
Oh, I got lots to say today.
Guys, we're going to have fun. We got a good episode ahead of us. Don't forget to hit preppertalkradio.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. We are still sending stuff out. If you're not getting it, check your spam folder, your junk mail. We're going to be working on that through the new year, trying to fix that a little bit in case you're not getting the deliverability you want. Also, make sure you check out our resources page. We got a whole bunch of cool links. We'll talk about some of those things tonight because this is the Christmas episode, like the last-ditch efforts to get yourself a merry and ready little Christmas. So check that out, and also check out our good friends over at survivalfrog.com. Use the code PrepperTalk10 to save an additional 10% off. And they are doing free shipping on orders. I think it's over $50. And wow. I've still seen some of their Black Friday deals are still lingering. So I guess now it's Cyber Monday lingers, but go check it out. They stack our promo code, our coupon code on top of whatever sale they're doing. So feel free to have some fun with that. Guys, are you guys ready for the chat's going crazy. Are you guys ready for a fun-filled Christmas prep, ready-minded gift giving session?
Absolutely. And my happy gift right now is the price of silver. But look at that. Wow. We are actually in backwardation. The spot price is higher than the futures price right now. So we might even see $63 while we're live here. I'll keep you updated.
Oh my gosh. That's
crazy. I need to place an order quick.
Yes. Yeah. The sooner the better, but long way to go.
Shane's taking over for NORAD. He's going to be telling us not where Santa is, but where it still is all night long. So
I can do that.
That's awesome.
This is awesome. Oh, all right. Where do we want to dive in? Like, do we want to go by like different topics of?
Well, let's set the stage a little bit here. Let's set the stage. Of course, Mike here, one of our best buddies, he is concerned about what he's going to give his non-preppers in his life, right? And I kind of consider everyone in my family a non-prepper, mainly because I think, dad's got it. Why don't I have to worry about it or think about it? But I still need to get them prepared. I don't have enough stuff for everybody, right? But I've also been told, Dad, no more prepping stuff this Christmas, please.
You've actually been told that straight up?
Oh, yeah, I've been told that straight up. So I have to be a little more covert about it, right? And so that's kind of, I think, the approach we need to take with friends, family who aren't necessarily preppers like Mike, Sandy. And those are the people we need to help the most, because part of that is waking people up. I mean, that's why we do what we do here, right? We'd love to have all of you preppers on here, but we need to get more people involved. And, with the Trump thing, like it happened in his first 4 years, prepping fell off a cliff, and it's kind of doing the same thing right now. Everybody's too confident in the government that everyone else is going to take care of us. How do we do that covertly, surreptitiously, give them a good gift that helps them become more prepared, more self-reliant, self-sufficient, yet still not necessarily expose our agenda, right? And maybe that's, like for me, everyone expects that I am probably going to give them something preparedness related. That's just the way it's going to go. And, too bad, that's just like tough luck. Right. But we can be a little more practical about it too. So.
All right. I like where you're going with this.
Cool.
I like where you're going with this. Paris, any lead in thoughts on this?
It's just, I think, first of all, you just make sure that one of the things that I would do as a prepper for sure is make a list of things, preparedness items that you want for Christmas, and then give that to your friend. They have to go buy a preparedness item for you if they want to give you a gift. And that might give them a little bit of, hey, what is this? What is this? Why do you want this? So, maybe it'll give them a little bit of, when they're out and about, buying you the new pocket knife or the new whatever you've asked for. Maybe they'll say, hey, maybe I should pick one up for myself. That might be another kind of a little sneaky way to kind of get people prepared, is ask for things that you need that can help you get better prepared in some way. And that way they're out buying it and shopping it. And maybe they're at the sporty goods store. Maybe they're on Survival Frog so they can get a better discount. And they're using Prepper Talk 10 because you've told them to use that code so that we can all get a good deal. And so I think that would be, a cool thing to do, like wish list, whether it's on wherever you are, make a wish list of things you want and then send that to your family and say, hey, look, this is what I'd like to get. I'd like to get another bivy bag or whatever it is. And that's a sneaky way, I think, of getting around some of the things. If they don't want it, maybe they'll get it for you and catch the bug a little bit more than they had already.
That's a great idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Interesting. Okay. Like, problem with that for me though is like all of my associates who don't prep are going to give me a crap gift anyways, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of too late. I feel like it's almost too late for that option, but maybe it'll get them thinking for my birthday that's coming up in May, right? If I give him something good now, they'll be like, oh crap, I better get him something really good for his birthday. Cause he just, like,
well, if you put a wish list together, they're going to buy the thing you put on the wish list.
Yeah.
I'm making cool little 3D print cases. Oh, what's inside?
Ooh, look at that.
Nice.
Patches for Prepper Talk Radio. Maybe a nice little pack of Ready Man cards, survival cards. Oh, maybe a nice little pocket knives, right? So I'm giving kind of some swag / fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then for all the kids, I'm giving them a Prepper Talk Radio action figure.
Are you 3D printing all this?
I'm 3D printing like crazy. My kids, we got one for school and we got to do an engineering class. It counts as credit. So like me, I'm going to try to make everything multi-use. So yeah, I created my own dummy 13 Prepper Talk Radio colors action figure. But like, okay, so if we're not going to give everybody full on prepping stuff, I'm going to give them sneaky prepping stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Why not?
So
yeah,
like Shane, the first thing that comes to mind for me is like, okay, car kits, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Breakdown kits. Here you go. And I can go through a whole list of that, but like, dude, that's if they're like so anti prepping stuff.
Yeah, that's a great point. Is my kids, I gave them car kits one year. Another year, I gave them tool kits for their apartments, and of course, my wife said, "No, don't give them that." But they actually keep saying, "Yeah, I'd love my toolkit. I use it all the time," which is again kind of a great covert prepping item, right? Because it helps them to say, instead of, "Hey, Dad, I don't have a hammer. Can you come help?" They can do things by themselves. They're more self-sufficient. And same with the car kit, right? It gives them a little more confidence wherever they go that they got jumper cables, they got flares, so forth in their car. I gave them, 1 year, 5-gallon water container to keep in the back of their car as well. Those types of things. And they remain in their vehicles and a constant reminder of, hey, Dad's a prepper. Dad's always looking out for us, right? That's the thing is I really want them to know that I care. And I think they do because they see that I'm trying to help them, in case of an emergency, right? That they can take care of themselves.
Well, I actually got this gift to give, which is pretty sweet. I've got one on myself. I carry it in my bag everywhere I go, but it's a battery.
Oh, yep.
Right. Everybody runs out of juice on all their devices all the time, but it's also a solar panel. right? This is the
Oh,
Quad
mine
Pro.
over
This is from Survival Frog, but I'm not going to say who's getting it. I've got a couple of in-laws that this is what they're going to get.
When I did that too, I
they're
gave
probably
them one like this solar
weird.
panel with a light
There
and
you
stuff, battery bank, keep your phones charged. And I'm sad to say that 2 of my kids, they left them unwrapped in their package, and when they moved out and left them behind, and like, so I confiscated them and going to put them to use. So
We can always re-gift them.
that too.
That's what
To
my
them.
mom does.
Give them back to them at a Christmas. Say, hey, didn't you already
Exactly.
give me this? Yes, I'm giving it to you again. So
Because you left it at our house, you jack.
re-gifting. Yep.
My mom kept sneakily some of my toys from my youth and has started giving them to my kids.
Oh, really?
I'm like, you can't give those away. Those belong to me anyways. But hey, I guess if it's there, what is that rule? Possession is 9/10 of the law. Like, just give away, give away.
I guess so.
I like the idea of giving them silver, and I've kind of switched my mindset on crypto. I used to be adamantly against it, but with the way the digital currency is pushing, I went and bought a little bit. Finally, but I've got a little bit of Bitcoin. I've got a little bit of XRP, just as a hedge, right?
Interesting. Yeah, no, I get that. And if
Give
it's
them a little
not,
give them a little bit of both, so then they don't think it's prepping. Like offset. Oh, here's a $25 silver coin, which is actually $60 now. And here's $25 worth of crypto. They'll be like stoked either way. And no clue that it's prepping.
yeah, that's I'm sorry, just trying to reply here. But yeah,
Or
no,
even some gold backs. You know, you give them some gold
There you
backs
go.
because that's
Yeah,
something that's also
I wrote
very
those out.
prepper related, but
Gold
not. But it's
backs.
also cool because it's a good collectible.
Yeah, absolutely. So and potentially currency, right? Can use it for barter and trade.
If you guys
And
want to
that's
get
really
gold
why they
backs,
created
you can
them.
get those at preppertalkradio.com on the recommendations page. We do have a link to gold backs you can buy in there.
And they're super cool. They just announced a new state as well. Colorado is coming out.
Oh,
Yeah, 2026, they're going to start running those Colorado.
nice.
Well, and of course, Scott, you did mention silver. Of course, that's something I like to give. And I've actually, a couple of ways that can be done is, I like to give, and I've done this before as well. A American Eagle, silver American Eagle in a case, a display case. This is just a generic American flag, but I'm sure they also have them they do have them for birthdays. They have them for graduation. I've given away for graduation gifts, Christmas as well, with the coin of the year where when it was received. So, I mean, now this is like $70. So it can be a little pricey, if you're going to give this away, a lot of these away. But what I've also done, like for nieces and nephews as such, is just go out and buy some constitutional silver, junk silver.
There you go.
This is a 1964 quarter. It's 90% silver. Right now, I think they're closer to $5. I haven't checked lately, but and I gave these away to nieces and nephews, and with a little lesson, right, a little bit of explanation of what it is and history of our money, trying not to bore them because they're young, right? But I actually had one nephew tell me, it's a few months ago, hey, I still have that quarter you gave me, and I think that's pretty cool, and it goes up in value, and if they watch it go up in value, and then they can see, oh wow, this is pretty cool, and rather than purchase something and then it goes to zero, purchase something that appreciates, again, like silver, whether it's a sovereign coin or just a bar, something that's not sovereign, that's just a round or bullion is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And obviously we see what's going on. I'm going to check the price of silver again right now to see where it's going. Went down the touch, but that's what it does. But and another thing is like for the wife, she knows I'm prepping. We have have our savings in gold and silver and such. And so for me to give her these kinds of things doesn't make a lot of sense. However, there is such thing as called investment jewelry, right? Where you can get 24 karat gold jewelry that, yes, it does have a premium, but not as much as maybe more traditional jewelry. But it typically has larger links where if you needed to barter, you could actually take it apart and barter with individual links of jewelry. And also, if you need to go across the country or out of the country, you can be wearing the jewelry and, pass through customs, pass through, the metal detectors and so forth. And you've got jewelry,
That's
which
awesome.
is precious metals. So that's I think another good, if you've got that kind of money to gift, someone special, I think it's a good idea to buy some investment jewelry.
That's a good idea. The jewelry idea is really that's just a way to kind of hide in plain sight your resources and be a little bit gray man, but still have plenty of cash.
It's funny because as you were talking about that, I was thinking about all the family members that came over from Europe way back in the day, and how many of them, all they had were the clothes on their back and no luggage and just what they could wear. And so, yeah, jewelry makes sense. That's brilliant. Becky in the comments, love you, Becky. She dropped this one. Where is it? She built this Alaskan king quilt, and now she's getting tons of requests for them. Those are like heirloom quality type things, like a homemade quilt. That's something that's awesome to give. That's a great skill. Plus, how do you call that prepping? But it is prepping because everybody needs better warmth. And a quilt like that's going to last longer than anything you buy at the store.
Also, it gives you the ability to practice the skill, because if you sew something for somebody and give them that for their present, that's something that you are developing, learning, getting better at, a skill set that will be necessary when crap hits the fan and there's no other, when stores aren't around. And so, that's a great idea. One thing I was thinking of is, you might pick somebody that you have, like I would, as an example, let's say that you have a really good EDC list and there's 10 things on that list, and, or 5 things, that's however many things, just put 4 or 5 things, I guess. And, you got an anniversary, give them one item for the anniversary. They got a birthday, give them a second item for the birthday. They got a Christmas gift, give them the third item. And by the time the year is over, with all the different reasons to give somebody a gift, they have half their EDC kit, or maybe all of their EDC done in a year and a half. And of course, you might say, well, that took a year and a half to get your, kit together. Well, that's better than what they're doing if they don't, and maybe, that's some way to kind of plan out over the next little while here, some of the friends and family that you think would be receptive to that, and say, hey, look, I'm going to get you a lighter. I'm going to get you, what do you think? I'm going to get you a knife. I'm going to get you a flashlight, some things like that. That way you can help them slowly build a kit that they can actually have the full kit by the time it's over. And that might be an idea for Christmas gifts, to help people feel like they actually have all of the things they need. Or you might just say, hey, look, I'm going to give you the first 2 or 3 of these, but you got to go get the rest of them yourself. And here's the list. And that might be another way to kind of get them a little prepped and inspired to prep for themselves. You get them started with a couple items, and then you tell them what to do to finish it out.
Well, even, camping, fishing gear is kind of covert as well, because it really does add to your preparedness. And that's a skill, learning how to fish and how to clean a fish and cook and so forth. And but yet it's still recreation. It's fun. It's a family thing. And that's another thing I think helps kind of disguise a preparedness gift, is if it's family oriented, right? Like, I've given some of my kids emergency food buckets, right? Just the kind you get at Costco, nothing terribly expensive or special, decent quality, right? We've talked about food stored, but again, better than nothing. But it also gives them some confidence. Hey, and we're going to stick this in the front closet or in the garage where we can grab it and throw it in the vehicle and go. And that's another thing that, that I'd like to do, is I've done before, is say, like, this little tin here. Yeah. Build a little survival kit or maybe like you say, parents, get it started. And especially for someone young, I know I sure enjoyed that when I was a Boy Scout, right? Building my own little survival kit. We did that in like a little film canister, right? Build a survival kit in a film canister. And that's good little practice on how to do that, fishing gear. And
Wait, Shane, what's a film canister?
do you not?
Oh my gosh,
We don't know. I know what it is, but there might be.
No, that's true.
Do people even have film anymore? I'm teasing
I
with
think
you
I've
for
got
sure.
one here somewhere, but
I'm teasing with you for sure. But it's like, how do you get a film canister these days? Like, they don't know.
I'm wondering if you can even find those on Amazon,
probably
or
on eBay or something.
You can
Yeah,
still find them because people still shoot on film sometimes.
It's still
Harder
available.
to come by and it's a lot more expensive. But you can do the same thing in empty prescription bottles, empty pill bottles.
That's true,
right?
Yep.
Yeah, you might just say
Use
that.
pill bottle.
Yeah. I had some down here. I guess my kids ran off with it. But I have a fire starter kit in a pill bottle, a prescription bottle. And the cool thing about the prescription bottles is you can actually the lid can be screwed on both sides of the lid.
Oh,
so you can put the same size on both sides. So on one side I have lighters and matches, and on the other side I have the fire starter, the tinder, the little bundles. And it's awesome. And
that's a great idea.
Those are great because you could stockpile those, get rid of a prescription. You've still got all the containers, right? If you don't have any prescriptions, you can just buy them on Amazon, or you can go over to your mom and dad's house and pilfer their garbage can out of the bathroom, because I'm sure they're dropping those in every couple of days. The way the American medical situation is, it's pretty bad, right? They've probably got 30 prescriptions. But yeah, like those are great little things.
Well, here's another item that I think is a good kind of covert item is just a battery bank. You know, obviously we're all tied to our cell phones, and this one actually has a wireless or cordless recharging capability here, and you can get these over. This is Lion Energy. I think I've showed this one to you before, and I think last Christmas we talked about this little solar panel right together so that they can. You know, it'll charge the battery pack. And I think, Mike, didn't you do like a bunch of these for your family last year? They were like $10, which is a killer deal. And I think we still have those on the website, so you can go over to our recommendations page and go to the Lion Energy link and find these. And we earn a small commission on that, so that helps the channel. But good stuff. I'd love these Lion Energy things, and great value. This is like 20,000 milliamp hours. You charge your cell phone a number of times with that. And keeps good to carry around, so that you always have your phone charged up. And my kids are always saying, my phone's at 3%. Well, here, take this. You
just got to make sure you have the right. If they don't have the wireless charging capability, you got to make sure you got the right cords on hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's another thing I stockpile, cords. Like I even have remember the old iPhone, the original one? It was like this wide.
Oh, yeah.
I still have some of those because I have people like, oh, I've got an old device. I don't have any cables. Like, I need to transfer data. And I'm like, here you go.
Yeah, I have a stash of cables, definitely. Hard to throw things out like that for me.
Okay, other things that are kind of prepping but aren't. Backyard heaters.
Okay.
They're those indoor-outdoor lamp heaters that you can put in your backyard, connect to propane. A lot of those are indoor-outdoor. Be careful not to buy just the outdoor one only, but you can be like, hey, look, you guys can hang out in your backyard, but also good in emergency, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking more along the lines of, if you're going to give gifts to people, especially loved ones, training. Get them a gift of training, like get them a membership to the local gun shop, or have a class that you guys go to together, or like in my case, I like a fitness boot camp in January. Come January, oh yeah, fitness boot camp. Oh, you're gonna join. You're gonna go with me. We're gonna do this, right? Something along an event, some type of fun training or an excursion, like Mountain Ready. I don't know if you guys follow them and all, but they do out in North Carolina an event every summer. But now they're doing one in Montana this summer, and it's going to be a lot like a rabbit stick survival camp, where you go up and you learn all kinds of cool skills. And I'm like, that's on my radar. I might have to give that gift to some people here in this chat here.
Yeah, that's one thing I actually gave my brothers last Christmas was a box of 9mm and Invitation to the Range, and we finally used that about a month ago.
Did you?
It took 11 months to get them all out to the range to use it for demo. So, but
that just gave me an idea. Here we go. I'm going to write this down.
Another thing too is that especially for kids, as kids grow older, they go bigger, and so they might need a new coat. And get them a nice prepping kind of style coat. My son asked for this is kind of a first world prepping coat, but he asked for one of those coats that heats itself up. What are those called? The heating. Anyways, so we got him. He's asked for one of those that I don't know how we're going to wash it, because apparently you have to pull the electrical whatever heats up the heating element out of the thing and then wash it. I don't have enough experience with those, but some of those heating elements are really good. And to warm your coat, Costco sells the heated socks, heated gloves, and a heated vest. Walmart sells a heated coat. And so those are some ways to kind of keep, I would say you're going to need to have a way to charge it. But that's a good prepping item, that especially if you're in a location like Utah where it snows, and it kind of makes sense to give somebody those kind of those warm things. So you could be a little sneaky on different, and prepping items don't have to be food storage. It could literally be as easy as some ammo, or a nice warm coat, or those, like Scott just said, those warmers for the backyard. Those are great, things to put. Any kind of camping gear, anything like that. Yeah.
Have you guys heard of the Empower Coat?
No.
If you go to empowermentplan.org, the coat, they designed this for homeless people, but it's phenomenal for prepping. It is a coat that turns into a full-on sleeping bag. It is. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. I remember watching a newscast on this a long time ago, and I'm just like, dude, that's brilliant, because it's sectional. You can take it apart. You can add things but it's a full-on winter coat designed for homeless. I'm like, dude, if you're bugging out, guess what? You're homeless. This is great. And it just, the bottom half's just Velcros up into the top half, so it's out of your way. But yeah, they're pretty awesome. You can donate them. I think you can also buy them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's a gift that keeps on giving.
Here now. Yeah, pretty cool.
Pocket fishing kits.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great covert prepping gift.
Little stocking stuffer.
I just had one. Silly me. I had one. It was funny. I had this little grenade one that I got. It's basically a ball of paracord, and inside it's got like hooks, it's got fishing line, it's got all the stuff now, or all the stuff you need for a little fishing trip in a survival situation. It's kind of fun, and it's all connected to a carabiner. But I just got it, and I don't know. Again, misplaced it with the kids probably. They're like, grenade, throwing it at each other. But yeah, all fun little stuff. That's cool. But like, there's so many things that you can go crazy with. Like, in my opinion, like if you've got the money and you want to buy something good, like get them a home backup system, right? Even if it's a small one. Lion Energy, Blue Eddy, EcoFlow are all really good brands. Like, yeah. And they're getting better and better. Get the Life PO4 batteries. But yeah, I mean, it's just there's so many times because I've got the little Opus one, and I've tested it out. I've played with it. I've done stuff, but I'm like, I don't have a big system yet. But my plan is if things go crazy, like go without as long as we can, right?
Yep.
But getting a smoker or a food dehydrator, stuff like that, so you can actually take care of the stuff you have quicker, solve problems. But yeah, like, and also books. Like I'm a big fan of books. I've got a huge list of books I want for Christmas.
That's true. Yeah, books are a great way. Of course, another thing, we talked a little bit about tools, but I love multi-tools,
Mhm.
right? Very much a prepper item, but also an EDC. I think anything EDC. We talked about knives. We've got something like simple like this Kershaw. Just very easily fits in a pocket. And I've said many times that if you give someone a knife who doesn't usually carry a knife, it will change their life. And I think the same with a multi-tool of some kind, whether it's Swiss or Leatherman or so forth. So many things you can do with this. I'm constantly using this thing, and a lot of the times it's just to file down my nails. So, but I always have it with me. But you could even go something a little bit more ostentatious, something big, that catches their eye, like, oh wow, that's cool, but or an EDC flashlight, right? I like the Phoenix brand, and because they're quality, they are more expensive, but they're lifetime quality stuff. Talk a little bit about family gifts. A lantern, I think, is more of a family gift, right? More instead of just something that's personal and individual.
Is that just like a flood lantern, or is it?
Yeah, well, it has flood and spot, and it hangs, and it or you can mount it on a tripod, and just very cool. Type of family gifts that you can put in your 72-hour kit, and holding up air quotes 72 hour, because that's useless, right? Okay. You need to be much more than that, because you can survive 72 hours with just water, right? Shelter and water.
I got these lights for my kids. They come in these little carrying case, waterproofed, but it's a flashlight. It's got the strobe, but then it also has lantern feature.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
And my goal is, this is one of the things I'm giving them, to get them to leave my headlamps alone. Because I find my headlamps all over the freaking house all the time. Why? Because they love to put them on and run around. I don't know why spies wear headlamps, but they wear headlamps. They run around. Here's one of them. You can get this on Survival Frog. And you can even go hands-free. It's got a little button on here. You can just wave it and it goes on and off.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I love these because, like, if I'm working on something, which I do a lot of, like if I'm working in the car and it's too dark, this thing brightens up everywhere. So I don't have to yell at my little kid to, like, aim the light, right? But like all of us were traumatized back in the 70s and 80s by our fathers.
Yeah, because they hold it steady,
right?
Keep it focused right there.
Just the season for that.
Make it easier.
All right, what else I got on my plate here? I've got another thing for me is another EDC thing is a watch. I really like the Casio Solar. They're great quality. The last this is a 10-year battery with solar. You don't have to do anything. You just put it on and it works. And I think that's a good prepping item. It's again kind of a covert item is a good quality watch. Or if you want to spend a little bit more, I mean, this is around $100. Get a decent automatic watch that's self-winding, that's it's quality. It's going to last I would say a lifetime, but typically have to spend more for quality that way. But something that can be handed down, right, that be passed along. But I think for me that's a good prepping item to be prepared and to always know the time instead of just on your phone. Hardly anybody wears watches anymore because they have the time on their phone. And what happens when your battery dies or something happens to your internet connection, because that's where you get the data from. I think it's more reliable to have something that is autonomous, right? And I just love Casios. I'm a watch guy.
But I got to bounce into a comment from Becky from our light conversation, 70s and 80s. I was flashlight traumatized in the 2010s. It's like a timeless tradition, right? It's like a good watch, timeless. Hand it off to the next generation. Like, yeah, there's so many gifts you can give that are prepping that aren't prepping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's crock pots, but then there's what's that one, where you put a stone in it and it'll cook on the go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's yes.
I bought one of those the last preparedness show we went to.
Those are fantastic.
You put the stone in the fire and that heats it up, and then you put that underneath the thing. I bought it's like I can't remember the name of it either, but it's right there in my garage. It's
rock pot.
There we go.
Yeah. You can cook it. You can put it on a burner. You can put it in a fire. Like, you can do so many things, and it's more efficient because it doesn't take long to fired up, get it hot enough. But it's great for camping, great for travel, great for prepping, right? Another one of those good sneaky covert gifts.
Another thing I think is a good prepping gift is just rechargeable batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I do go to Costco and buy the big packs because some batteries have a risk of getting thrown away, and you don't want to risk that with these. They're maybe $30 or so for a good set of lithium iron phosphate PO4 batteries. But I mean, this is not only practical; it saves literally hundreds and hundreds of batteries, but a great prepping item as well. Again, kind of covert, but I mean, there's so many good choices for rechargeable batteries.
Yeah.
I just ordered some stuff on I ordered some stuff from some Survival Frog recently, and one of the things that I got was a lockpick set, and that's kind of fun. It's a prepping item, but it's kind of not, but it kind of is. So it's that would be a fun thing to give somebody, or to even ask somebody to give to you. That way you can say, hey, why do you need a lockpicking set? Because if you lock yourself out, you moron, you can call me and I can come get you or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's fun things you can do about it, but there's also, it's just a really good thing to be able to have a lockpicking set. I think, Scott, you've used it to save your
I've got a lockpicking set that I've had now for probably 8 years. I've used it at least 15 times.
That's so cool.
And each one of those times, if I'd have called a locksmith, the cost of a locksmith, typically in Utah, it's anywhere from $100 to $150 to break a lock.
Wow.
That's how crazy it is. If it's in the middle of the night and it's an emergency, the price goes up, right? But everyone I called is like, oh yeah, it'll cost $100 for me to come pop that lock, right? And you can also buy, some places you can buy bump keys, which is a lock bypass, right? But a good lock picking set, I've had mine for years, 8 years plus, and it's been actually,
I'm excited to learn how to use
10 years. I got it in 2015.
Wow.
And it was actually, I got it as a trade. I was doing PrepperCon. I got this lock pick set from Jeff Kirkham when Survival or Ready Man was doing a booth, and they're like, hey, can we do some trade? And I'm like, sure. And he's like, I got lockpick sets. I'm like, yes. And I've used that thing so many times. It has saved me over $1,000 easily.
There's quite a few good lock pick sets out there. Sparrows is where I've purchased mine. They've got some pretty nice stuff, but you can even get on Amazon now and find kits.
Get one with a practice lock, right? So you can actually see how tumblers work. You can actually see what you're doing right or wrong.
Yeah, and that's
the see-through ones. They're phenomenal, and
that would be a great gift. Yeah,
fantastic gift.
But I also go with again. Always look back to the survival rules of 3, right? To determine priority.
Yep.
Shelter and water, right? So water filtration. These Sawyer mini filters, I've got half a dozen of these things stashed in different bags because they're fairly inexpensive, maybe $20 or something like that for a filter. And I've given these away to my kids as well to put in their bags. And this is one I've, of course, never used. It just sits in one of my bags. My regular filters I use are like the Catadine or the hiker filters, right? The pump filters, and these are really just for emergency purposes for me. But I think that's a great item, along with a bag or a bottle for this to use in combination with this. So I think water, obviously, again, food, water, shelter is top priority. So when I'm looking to family, like trying to evaluate, okay, what do they need? That's where my mind goes, right? Water. Yeah, this is a pretty boring, pretty terrible Christmas gift, right? It really is. And it's not very covert either. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right?
I mean, this isn't covert.
The idea of hiking boots just popped into my head. I'm like, oh, get them some hiking boots. Hey, we're going to go on a hike together this summer, whether you do or don't, right? Get them the boots. Everybody needs a really good pair of boots. And I also wanted to say, oh, perfect. Yeah, H2Go. Parrish, you were about to talk about that. It's on our website. but perfect gift.
No, I pulled up I had bought a long time ago a paracord bracelet. You know, it's got a fire starter here in the center. It's got a little knife slash thing that you can scrape across it's got a ferrule rod, and then you can scrape and start a fire, and it's got a little bit of a serrated edge here, and then it's got a whistle. I'm not going to use it, but it's got a whistle right here on this side, and then it's got, I don't know, probably 40, 50 feet of paracord. I mean, this is definitely more of a, hey, this is a prepping item, but it's also kind of cool because sometimes that's kind of manly to have stuff like that you can wear, and it kind of doubles as a preparedness item and a piece of jewelry. And then there's this one that I got from Survival Frog. This is a paracord keychain, and
that's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. Inside of this paracord keychain is a scalpel blade, a ring, ferro rod, a swivel, weights, tinfoil, cotton tinder, fishing hooks, fishing line, and floats. It's got a ring knife in there too. Mm-hmm. So these are some fun things that you can get. I mean, it's a keychain. It's a couple bucks. It's Survival Frog, and you can put it on I'm going to put it on my keychain, and I keep this on my man bag, my Merce, and I keep this on my keychain now that I got it. And so those are just real quick, handy, everyday carry kind of things that you can have that kind of double as jewelry or whatever.
You could also, they're easy enough to make as well. You know, get on YouTube, look for a tutorial. You can buy the clips, even the ones with all those fancy items like you had there, Parrish. You can buy those on Amazon and make your own paracord, or with paracord. Or you can buy the paracord and give it as a gift as well, and whoever you're giving it to can learn how to make their own paracord bracelets as well. So depending on the person, right?
Have you guys seen those bracelets that have in the bracelet? It's just a thin bracelet, but it's either leather or something else. But they're stretchy ones too, where they have a glass breaker for your car window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen those,
and a lock for handcuffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, a key.
Yeah, or sorry, a key for handcuffs. Like there's cool stuff like that. But I wanted to also go back because I saw a jumpstart pack and a car survival kit. Like we talked about that at the very beginning, but like there's Lion Energy's got one, Survival Frog's got one. There's also tire repair kits. Have you seen the screw-in tire repair kits? Oh, they're brilliant. I just learned about these. I was following a roadside rescue guy, and he was like, this is the easiest fix. He's like, if you've always carried in your car a pump that plugs in so that you're not having to sit there and pump it, right? But one that plugs in into your car, and one of these kits, he's like, and honestly, it comes with a screwdriver, but that's just horrible to try to get in. Keep a drill in your car all the time, because you can pop one of these in and you can get another 1,000 to 2,000 miles off your tire, right? That gives you more than enough time to go find a new tire and get it fixed.
Save up for it.
But it even works in the sidewall.
A plug? Is it like a plug?
It's a plug. It's a rubberized plug. It's a hard rubber. But you can get them on Amazon. You can get them at pretty much any auto repair store nowadays. But it's fantastic. And he's like, I highly recommend it. It's fast. It's quick. He's like, get a squirt bottle with some water in it, or just something you can find and identify where the hole is. If there's something sticking out of the tire, you know where the hole is. But he's like, these are great for small punctures and things like that. But also make sure you have some good toe straps and know where your anchor points are. So it'd be a good bonding experience to show them where their anchor points are when you're giving this gift. But also in that, first aid, really good first aid kit. That's a gift you can give year round that I think that's the biggest miss in most people's preparedness, is having a good first aid kit. Good IFAC, and we've got our good friends over at Mountain Man Medical. You can go to our website and link to them. They've got some really good first aid kits, American made, awesome stuff. And then I also saw the comment. Let's see. Yes, Becky, the treads, those tire plugs, those can be used on sidewalls too. I also saw.
If you use them on the sidewall, it's absolute emergency. They won't last for very long.
Yep.
and they are very difficult to use on a sidewall. But you can get specific sidewall repair kits. The plugs technically are not meant for sidewalls, but in a pinch you could potentially use it. But
so these screw-in ones will last up to 2,000 miles in a sidewall.
I guess depends on the size of the gash, right?
Yeah. Well, if it's a gash, obviously you're done.
Right.
But if it's a puncture, right? Melanie, she dropped in there a good grain mill. That's also a fantastic gift, right? Give them a grain mill and a cookbook so they can learn how to make their own breads. Learn how to make, because honestly, the stuff we buy at the stores is deadly. Learn how to make
another good thing. I just was talking to a client today, and he is a senior because he's talking about helping him with his Medicare. And he's like, I got all these pills that I'm taking. I wish I knew more about herbal stuff. I wish I knew. My daughters and kids are always trying to tell me about, getting on more natural things. And I told him, I said, I got a great liver support product. So I was going to send him the link for our Good Life affiliate there. But, Nicole Pillion is really a brilliant herbalist and herbologist. And there's a lot of others out there. Nicole is one of many. But she has this book that she's doing called the Homemade Remedies or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but it's if you're a prepper and you're on any social media right now, I'm sure you've seen the ad. She's got several books, and let me actually bring it up really quickly because I just added it to my Amazon wish list I put it on my wish list for my books to get a book, and it's the Holistic Guide to Wellness. And she's got other books that she's got the Forgotten Home Apothecary, the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. I've got those ones already. So this new one, the Holistic Guide to Wellness, Herbal Protocols for Common Ailments, is on Amazon right now. And that's something that I think would be, when crap hits the fan, everybody should be healthier anyways. And we all need to be, getting off of our prescription, medicines, in my opinion, anyways. And so why not send a great book over to teach people, hey, there's some ways you can maybe swap out your current medicines. And I'm not saying stop taking the medicine. I'm saying while you're taking the medicine, swap it out with some of these more natural herbal remedies. And here's this great book of this professional herbologist who's giving you all these cool things to fix certain ailments. And see if you can slowly switch over to the herbal remedies.
So I just dropped in the chat my list of books that I've been adding recently. Some of them are a few years older, but not just
The Creature from Jekyll Island. I put that on my Christmas list too, bro.
Being aware of what's going on in the world. None dare call it a conspiracy. Helps you understand who's really running things. The Creature from Jekyll Island, understand the banking system and how screwed up we are, right? Then one of my favorite books, The Ready Radius. You can even get an autographed copy. We'll tell you how to do that later. But The Art of Sneaky Stockpiling, Bushcraft 101, The Amish Survival Bible, Navy SEAL Bugging Guide. We've got a whole list of books on our website under library. Check those out as well. But seriously, you can never go wrong with good books, especially Preserving with a Purpose. That's another great one on our website. Things people can use every day. For example, the Pocket Reference Guide. Shane's probably got his in arm's length.
Yep.
You use that thing all the time, right? Find books that will benefit the life of the person you're giving it to. It'll have more meaning. Plus, it's sneaky because it's prepping related.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to mention before we finish up here is, and I showed these over the past couple of weeks, just these Baofeng radios, the UB5R Mini, and then this is the higher output one. These are like $20, $25. Yes, you do need a ham radio license for them, but in an emergency, it is perfectly legal to use these. So, if you want to stay in touch with family, and these are only good for 5 miles or so, unless you're using a repeater, which then you need your ham radio license and so on and so forth to connect. But in a pinch, these are going to work really well. And for a family communication plan, there's really nothing better than ham. Obviously if your cell phones don't work. So I think these are great options for for how much money they are. I mean, it really blows me away. When I started in ham radio, just your basic handhelds were a couple $100, and the cost has come down so much. I mean, these are obviously not the best quality. There's a lot better quality ones out there, but for backup, for emergency, yeah, they work great.
That's awesome. Yeah, another good idea is get them some Meshtastic texting devices, right? There's all kinds of different price points, but those again, they have a limited range depending on where you are and how big the network around you is. But that's something I'm looking into more and more. I'm just like, it's good to have redundancies.
Definitely.
All right, we're in our final 10 minutes. What do you got there, Paris?
This is my Meshtastic. My brother gave it to me several years ago, and this is I carry it with me wherever I go, and it's kind of cool. I don't know I still have to ask him. I'm like, hey, what does this mean when it comes through on this? Because the app every once in a while, like I have to make sure to charge it, and if it runs out of battery, you got to reset it. But as long as you're using it on a regular basis, you can talk to people on the app through your cell phone, and that's pretty cool. So
it's basically it's its own network device that you connect your phone to and can text pretty much anywhere within the network, right?
Yeah, as long as so you have to be, I think it's line of sight, but as long as you're within that range, you can talk to people. So what happens is I keep it whenever I drive out of town or anywhere, and I drive and it picks up nearby while you're driving, it picks up stuff, and once it picks up the stuff, then then it's in your database, and if you're nearby that person, and it will tell you, hey, this person's close enough to communicate with, and you can actually send them a message if you need to.
Nice.
Becky, I don't know the brand. My brother got it for me, but I think it's I think I have some information about it. If you want to shoot me an email, you can shoot us an email at prepper@talkradio at gmail.com, and I'll see if I can forward you the stuff that I sent, because somebody else asked about it, and I forwarded my brother's email, and he was grateful for that. So I can forward you whatever I have.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously there's all kinds of gifts you can give people. But if you want to give them prepping stuff, I would even do like a 72-hour kit even, and maybe not, maybe a car kit. Some 72-hour kit's a little more elaborate and should be more personal, honestly. But having somebody give you a gift and say, hey, this is for my 72-hour kit, maybe that'll open up a conversation to say, well, what do you need that for? Or what are you doing that for? What's a 72-hour kit if they're really new to the system? And that gives you an opportunity to have a conversation, I think.
Before we close out for the night, I also want to remind you guys, check out preppertalkradio.com. Look at the Good Life page. We've got wholesale supplements that every purchase there helps support the show, but also, I mean, dude, you cannot beat wholesale. It is phenomenal. And for those friends and family who aren't thinking straight, there's a really good deal on methylene blue. So that'll help with some cognitive function. Maybe get them off their derangements and start thinking a little more preparedness minded. But you can have some fun with that. Now, in our final wrap up for tonight, what do you guys have on your list? Like, what's your biggest thing you have on your list for preparedness as a gift for you?
Boy, that's a good question. I haven't even made myself a Christmas list this year. I basically told everybody, don't get me anything.
That's how I live too. But like, if you get anything that's prepping related for Christmas, even if you're gifting it to yourself,
it'd be something big. I mean, that I would not put on a list for anybody to that I would assume that they would get me, right? So, like, my cabin's on my list, but that doesn't really, that's not a fair item to add on a list.
That's like putting family compound on your list, like
exactly, or prepping location or something like that. That's not a real valid Christmas gift item. I don't know. Happy to say I have what I need, and
what is there's a
I bought
bar.
Of course, I just bought a bunch of stuff from Survival Frog. That was kind of for me, but my wife was like, right before Christmas. I'm like, well, maybe I can throw it on the thing and have you guys give it to me. But the thing I shared with my family was the Holistic Guide to Wellness, the book. But I think for myself, I'm going to go to the gun shop here, and I want to get either a really nice light for my pistol or what do you call it? A holster for my rig. Like I have an inside the waistband for my everyday carry, but I don't have an outside the waistband for my rig, and I need that. That's the last thing I think I need to be able to complete my setup. So that I have a plate carrier. I'm pretty sure I have all the magazines that I need, but I don't have a holster for my belt that goes. So I'm like, why did I not buy that when I was buying everything else? But apparently I needed to wait so that I could get it for Christmas this year. So that's that's kind of a bigger, it's not that big, but it's kind of the bigger thing for me because I got a bunch of really cool stuff already. But that's the one thing that I still need to complete my whole rig.
So yeah, this is the kind of Christmas gift item.
There you go.
Wear a size 50 acre, mixed trees and open space. Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's where I was going with this. Like I wanted like your most like ridiculous gift no one's gonna get you.
Yeah.
Like what would it be?
Yeah,
probably I just dropped mine in the comments. Have you heard of Resvani?
A park model RV. Sorry, go ahead.
Have you guys heard of Resvani?
I think I've heard of it.
There's a link in the chat. So
a tank. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen it.
I'm looking for a new vehicle, right? And so this popped into the radar, like, hey, maybe a $200,000+, SUV with armored tires, like and everything else, and it comes with full response gear in the back seat. Like it is.
That suits you.
Ridiculous.
That suits you.
It would. I'm a big boy, so it would look good for me to pop out of a big vehicle that's all armored. Popping out of a Suzuki Sidekick's a little tight for me. So if anyone's shopping for me, that's something you can get me. Oh, it starts at $953,000. Thank you, Becky.
Oh, geez.
So when you want to get something for the prepper that has everything else, this is what to get them.
And I think drone is a great idea. Absolutely, definitely a prepper item. And they can be had pretty inexpensively too. So
you can get a good one for $20. Like I've got two. I bought one for 20. I bought one for about 79. The $79 one, the range on it's way better. But if you're just using it like to learn, to also use it as aerial visual, right? You can zoom pretty good depending on the camera. Like my $20 one does pretty good. But for less than $100, you get a pretty awesome drone.
Yeah,
that you can use.
A couple $100 to get a really good one.
Yeah, for surveillance, and they even have ones now that will follow you, track you. Like you can do all kinds of stuff, like use it as a side hustle income method. Right? It's fun, but unfortunately, we're out of time. So you're gonna have to write down your Christmas list and mail it to someone who will buy it for you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight and not tuning out. Any final thoughts as we wrap this one up, guys?
Merry Christmas to everyone. And remember the reason for the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the preparedness item we haven't talked about that I guess you could potentially give it, but it's mostly, personal, is just spiritual preparedness, right? Like you say, the reason for the season is it's not gifts. I mean, I love giving, right? I don't necessarily like receiving, but I love giving. And not sure what the best gift is other than my own passion, right? My own, at least I like to think it is, right? It's something very personal from the heart. And I think, that can come in a lot of different forms. Some people like to receive, some people like to give. And as long as we put a lot of thought into it and very personal, then that's, what it's all about to me,
Amen. Yeah, this is one of my favorite times of year. In our household, we don't put up a normal Christmas tree. We don't do a lot with the gifts. We put up nativities. We spend time thinking about the greatest gift that's ever been given, and that's the gift of Christ. He is the author and finisher of my faith. I am nothing without him. And I'm grateful to get to do this. This is our ministry. For those of you who don't really know, like, we come on here to share what we do in preparedness, what we know, what we've learned. And it's at risk, right? We put ourselves at risk because the first rule of prepping is you don't talk about prepping, but we felt very directed to do this and to share. And we've built an amazing community. We love you guys. Like, I look forward to hearing and seeing the thread of the chat every week. And we've been doing this, my goodness, over 500 episodes. And thank you, everyone, for being part of this. Paris, any final thoughts from you, buddy?
I was just going to say there's one thing that I saw years ago that it just touched me every time. And I even bought it for my front lawn. It's wise men still seek him. And I love that. I just feel like that's a really wise and thing to do, and discipline. I love my Savior, and I hope that you all remember that. I think just to answer really quickly, Becky asked if what our next show is. I think it's going to be our last show of the year is going to be next week, because the 24th it's Christmas Eve. We're not going to be doing a show. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, we have the 24th off. Are we going to do the New Year's Eve?
We still were thinking about it.
Yeah, we're not sure about that.
Plan on the 17th, everybody. So next week.
Yeah, we might do some.
We might surprise you later.
We might. But yeah, Mike had a good idea here, kind of a countdown.
There you go.
Countdown show New Year's Eve.
There's the doomsday clock. We'll do the countdown clock for 2026. End of 2025. Let's start 2026. Well, guys, thank you everybody for your participation tonight. It's been fun. Yeah, we've a little bit tongue in cheek going into the gifts, a little hard, but we do this every year just for fun. If there's anything you can spend your time doing, it's number one, first and foremost, getting spiritually prepared. Number two, mentally prepared. Right? If you don't have your mind about you, you're going to forget all the planning you've put into place. You're going to forget what tools you have. You're going to panic, and you're not going to be prepared for anything. So focus on your mind first. That's something that'll go with you wherever you go. And thank you for being part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Have an amazing night, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
See you next week.
Whoops. Wrong buttons. We're going to try this again. Catch you on the next episode.